still busy taking wide, looping arcs around this area. Um, uh, what's your imp's name? Gur flits in amongst the trees, landing on one particularly sturdy branch that won't sway or shake when it lands. Give me a stealth roll.
Come on, Gur. 23.
With grace and no noise, Gur alights on the branch and starts looking in through the branches and leaves that are blocking its vision. In time, you are able to make out three figures, two of them resting in what appears to be a sort of trance in the middle of this copse of trees. Another kind of nervously picking at their nails. A moment later, like reaches into a bag and pulls out a hunk of dried meat and begins taking a few nibbles at it. All three look to be humanoid. The two in the trance are both.
And okay, so.
And the third is a human.
Okay. I'm gonna snap back into my body, and Hot Boy is great to see.
Approaching some elves and a human and oasis. They seem really out of place.
What are they doing?
Hard to say. It's like they're resting to her in a trance.
Give me an Arcana check with advantage.
How far away?
You guys are coming up, sneaking your way along. The last approach is off your beast. This is going to be about 400 yards. And you're kind of in this edge of this ravine or this little gully that has been shielding your approach.
7.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what they were doing.
I'm gonna.
That's with advantage?
Yeah.
Ouch.
I'm gonna manifest my spectral being of a bespectacled floating head.
Oh, of course.
Looking a little dapper and wise, like an old wizard head almost, like a wizened old man, just nice glasses. And I'm gonna float him up there. Away.
Visible?
He's a spectral being. He's floating,
So
so he's kind of visible.
Visible.
Yeah, he's visible. 400 feet away.
And there's two.
So he's just gonna like move him forward.
Maybe.
Alright, you're going to summon this thing and it's just going to start floating above the ground towards the copse of trees.
Mm-hmm. Towards where the imp is hanging out up front ahead.
The imp is, you can't see the imp, but the imp is 400 feet, or 400 yards ahead of you, invisible in a copse of trees.
Invisible in a copse of trees.
Yeah. And you're just like coming up over this like little ridge you can see.
Yeah, I'm just going to send the ghost body up there.
Okay.
I'm gonna ready to make my move if I see him like freak out over the head and try and like advance.
Okay. And what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna put two and two together and say if there's two elves in a trance, there's two hawks. Likely that they can see us if the hawks can see us. So we should try to stay under cover or somehow take out the hawks before they see us. Unless they already do.
Alright. Do you want me to try to have Gary take him out?
Yeah, I don't have anything like long range, or nor am I like still in that area.
Like we're still 400
or if we have
yards
some
away.
way to be extra stealthy or something.
Right. I mean, the imp comes back, right? Can you just kill a hawk with it? Maybe both of them?
Well, I mean, it can only do it as a reaction. So I can only do that. I can cast Vampiric Touch.
Oh, but then you lose it and you can't get it back for another hour or something. Well, that kind of sucks.
I don't know. I can have
If
it.
we can get the upper hand on them without killing the hawks,
We're still 400 yards
Talk to
away,
him
though.
before engaging.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, surprise him.
Or maybe I could just have the imp go up and like not be invisible up there next to them, then get their attention.
You can speak through it.
Well,
Be a distraction.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
no. All right. I'm following that head.
And if the hawk attacks you then I'll have something that it can,
So how close are we
can
now?
attack.
You guys are still 400 yards away. You have not.
I'm gonna walk up a little
been
closer
planning.
because my bespectacled head can't get more than 300 feet away from me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to keep to
Are
the.
you gonna keep it 300 feet away from you?
If we're that,
Yeah.
if we're
I'm
that
gonna
close, we
stick
can
to the
just,
hedges.
Okay.
push the vertex.
The trees.
That's the point.
So
I just start walking forward.
Yeah,
Say-
you guys see the floating head go over the ridge and begin advancing forward, and a moment later, the plant, your good friend, follows after it. Are you stealthing?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
Okay,
keep
Give me a stealth roll.
to
Anybody
the-
who's trying to stealth, give me a stealth roll.
one of these.
16.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
God damn it!
There you go.
I'm also gonna be inspired.
Oh, good lord.
22.
Alright.
Okay.
12.
Wait, where did mine go? That's mine.
14.
This character
Yeah,
sucks at
Joel's
rolling.
over there.
Wink.
Sorry.
12, 14, 22 for you.
16.
16. Okay. The first thing you notice is you guys crest this little ridge and begin advancing towards the copse of trees. The hawks immediately notice this spectral head, and there's a quick change to their pattern of movement. One of them starts heading directly back to the copse. The other begins a quick beeline straight towards the floating head and zips past you guys. Possibly seeing any number of you, you're not sure. And then it goes back.
I want to take a shot at the one that's flying back to him.
Okay, the first one that makes
Yeah,
it
the
beeline.
one that's making it back
Okay,
towards the
that
house.
is like way up in the air
Yeah.
and then going like far down. I mean, you guys are at the best like 350 yards away right now.
Yeah,
Shoot the one that's just
What's your range?
flying by.
320
Feet?
feet.
Yeah.
Can I sprint? Use my
You guys have a lot of ground to cover, and you can definitely give it a try.
yeah. I'm willing to take a shot.
I'm gonna
Okay. You'll break cover
Yeah.
to sprint to your
fuck, I
tabaxi
could've been
run
invisible.
to try and shoot it.
Okay.
The farthest one. Okay.
Yeah.
Make a
Hot
shot
boy
with disadvantage.
noticing that the hawks
but then
are
I have advantage
moving
because it's
is going to admit
they haven't
is gonna
taken an
tell
action
Gur
yet.
to remain invisible
in
and
combat.
attack.
No.
Surprise.
Gur's no longer
Jesus, it's a
attacking.
1. No. Yeah, fuck it. Inspiration up then. So 12 plus 7, 19.
What's your IMP's AC for reference?
What? Oh, my imp is no longer attacking.
No,
Yeah,
what's
what
his
its
AC?
AC?
Oh, 13.
Or a similar tiny creature.
13.
You got a.
That was
19.
19.
I'll say that's a success.
Nice.
At the extreme range, you see the hawk just like beelining it straight for that copse of trees. You just like sprint forward as fast as you can, sliding to a halt as you draw back and release the arrow in this fluid motion. It sails through the air. Out of the corner of its eye, just at the last moment, you see the hawk sees it and just like turns to try and dodge and go. Just like 100 feet shy of
We're all in
the
awe of
copse of
this
trees, the hawk falls down dead.
We're just all
The other one, however, makes the beeline or the pass over you guys, and then wheels around and begins heading towards the same copse of trees.
He definitely sees us next time.
Yes. You.
Can I
What do you
take a
guys
shot
think?
at this one?
Sure.
Same disadvantage?
This one is going to be. It's going to have a smaller bonus to its AC because it's closer, but
Okay.
it's still going to be a disadvantage.
I'm holding my hand up. The hawk.
What? What?
Not the hawk.
Not the hawk.
Why not?
I want the hawk.
Non-lethal. 17.
Jesus Christ. That's with disadvantage?
Yeah, with disadvantage.
Alright, yeah, the arrow just like, you think it's gonna hit it right in the chest, like the last one, it just like goes right above, right in the shoulder where the wing meets the body, and the hawk just goes and spins for a while before it like goes and hits the ground.
Probably still alive. Alright, I'll take that. She doesn't really care, but
Just like, challenge.
yeah.
What's next? You guys are still a pretty sizable distance away from the scopes of
I'm gonna
trees.
keep walking
Have
forward,
the
sending
imp
my bespectacled
Go
head
back
forward.
and try to see if that raised their attention and
Yeah, the imp reports back that they've says
The manfolk scurry. They open the tree widens, and they begin to run through.
The tree? I can't hear anything. Sorry.
Alright, so let's stop stealthing and start fucking go.
Yeah.
I'm heading towards that hawk.
Yeah.
You guys make your way towards the copse of the trees. You trying to jet towards the hawk.
Yeah.
Eventually, you find it. It's still like flapping around with one arm like completely ruined, or one wing completely ruined. It's trying to like make its way back, but it's in desperate straits. You guys rush your way towards the copse of the trees. Your imp reports that they're gone, and when you reach the trees,
I scoop
you
up
find
that hawk.
it to be the truth. The three figures are nowhere to be seen.
Is there anything left around, left behind by him?
Give me an investigation check.
I cast Cure Wounds on the hawk.
Okay. You snap the arrow and pull it out from the wing, and then cast Cure Wounds on the bird, healing it.
Darling, that was my lunch.
Investigation.
13.
You find a few, like obvious like signs of encampment, like pressed down grass and broken branches and things, and a nearby pit for defecation. But whatever they were wearing or carrying with them, they seem to have taken advantage with them. You don't find much.
Alright, Gur point out the tree that they're.
Yeah, just the there's this one fairly large trunk, like almost looks like a those tiny trees, bonsai trees. It's like this really thick, like wide trunk, kind of like jets out from the ground and then goes up for a while. And this whole tree is like bent and misshapen from the wind, but it has this wide, gnarly, or thick, gnarly stump or base.
It gains 10 hit points, the hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Is its wing healed?
Yeah, it healed that. The infusion of magic is more than enough to heal its wing.
Put it in the bag
And
of
for a
dicks.
moment, like, 'cause it's like trying to flap that wing over and over again. Eventually, it like sorts it out and like realizes it's not causing it any pain anymore, and it's working again.
Pick it up and I hold it and I walk over to the tree.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and talk to the tree. And tell it to open for me.
Okay. Using an ability or just?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I have. Sorry. I have speak to beast and leaf. I can talk to animals and plants, and they just kind of They can understand me. They can't talk back, but they can understand what I'm saying and kind of get the gist. And I also tell the bird that I'm friends.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
And I get advantage on all charisma checks against them, so
With
does
advantage.
that count? Because I am not very charismatic.
Oh,
Oh,
look, an at 20 when now you're rolling.
you have this big, like, goofy smile, like, right behind the bird. Like, hey.
So 9?
The bird is still scrambling to get out of your hands, and whenever it can, it's like clawing and pecking at you. It does not seem to
take 30 points
agree
of damage.
with your assessment of the situation that you're a friend.
Then I let it go.
I'm ready to go.
It flies
And I
off.
fire a shot at it. It's my goddamn lunch.
Attack roll. You go to the tree, and there's a moment for it to open for you. You can almost begin to see like a seam forming on the bark. but after a moment, there's just like this hint of a groan of wood, and it goes smooth and flush again, as if there was never an opening there at all.
I ask again, please. Open.
No response.
I sit down and start talking to my plant.
I walk up to the tree. And I cast Blight.
No, not the trees!
You wither the tree successfully. As just a moment passes, it's just like without any change, and then suddenly the trees, you notice, the leaves are beginning to wither, and immediately just all begin to fall off, brown and blackened.
Tears just start streaming down my face.
The tree is that was barely clinging on to life in this harsh environment is like Jesus in that fig tree.
I hope you're all happy we came here.
I'll give yeah. You may have the heart.
You do a little
Thanks.
hawk heart.
Hawk hearts.
You never know.
You never know, that's true. One might need a hot heart. Alright, so yeah, we just head on back to our rhino beetles and
I mean, yeah, investigate.
Is there any, can I look around the
Can
encampment
investigate the
that's here, and as I'm crying, just kind of walking around, do I see anything?
Sure, give me an investigation check.
I do it with
Or,
disadvantage because of my
perception check,
tears.
does no one have like a detect magic or something? Or like identify or anything like
I
that?
have Dispel Magic.
I have
Now it never
a
opens
natural
again.
one with disadvantage because I'm teary-eyed.
Yeah, not much. Yes, you can see signs that some people lived here for a little while or camped here, but not much beyond that.
No, like, belongings left behind.
No, they were, apparently going or traveling pretty light and took whatever they had with them.
Well,
nothing that you guys find.
Well, we've been spotted.
Are there any other animals nearby? Any other birds?
Now that after the commotion settles, eventually a few small birds come by, but nothing really notable.
I'm gonna toss some bread to those birds just to make myself feel a little better.
When he's not looking, I try to pick off a couple birds. Gotta save room for later. Is there an alternate route? Ask Kurtz and Darling, is there some other way to get to our destination besides the main road?
He says, road? There ain't many roads around here. I was just following the best game trail I could find that was taking us in the right direction.
May want to alter course since we've been spotted going this direction. Maybe take the slightly longer route.
Spotted going in what direction?
Or just to like maybe circumvent any trouble that we may have alerted them to that we're headed.
Wait, who saw us?
The people that went into the tree, the elves and the.
Oh, but did they see us going where we were originally going, or just towards
I guess
the map?
not. That's true.
We're just going back on our first path.
That's true.
I'm not worried about it.
All right.
We already lost enough time.
Megas is.
We're already 2 fingers down.
That's true.
Don't lose some fingers while I was
Oh
gone.
yeah.
Hold this other stumpy hand. He's like, 2 fingers and a half.
Alright.
Yeah.
I must
keep
have
the
blacked out.
Get the imp up there. Expect an ambush. We've been spotted.
Unless that tree is some magical shortcut to our destination, I say we
That's true.
give up on it. I got nothing else to try.
Well, now it's dead, so
Tree.
fuck if that matters.
Burnt door can still open.
A little meta, real quick, because it's kind of amusing that it actually does matter, because druids can cast a spell that lets them like open up a travel between trees, but only between trees that they like remember and can fix in their mind, and that are large enough to like cast a spell on. It's probably the only tree in this copse of trees that is large enough and that the druid remembered, so you may have just cut off their like ability to return here by fast travel.
What happened to that tree?
They just get stuck in like.
Those fucking. They killed my birds.
Oh, they should know they're in the untamed
Halfway's
lands.
gonna, get up on beetle thing and just chill out for a while.
Okay.
Just kind of maybe nap a little bit.
Okay. And you guys take a little break under libido's demands.
Yeah.
The demands of libido.
Fuck out of here.
Hot boy works better in darkness anyway. So.
All right. On the remaining portion of your travel, give me a perception check and a survival check, please. Group. So perception check first, everybody.
It's going to be 20.
2. Can't roll a good number.
Wait, perception? Sorry.
Perception check, please. 7.
10.
Okay.
Nope. 10. Yeah.
All right. And survival.
That was 22.
1.
Wow.
Your rolls are just hot
It's
tonight.
so bad.
What's wrong with those dice? You
Dude,
really
I
gotta
don't
check those.
know.
18.
While you guys are continuing your travels, you keeping a any sign of any more Imperium spies or agents or these hawk or animal wielding scouts, anything that you've come across already, and any of the other dangers prone or common to this land. But you don't see too much. You guys are able to make quick travel or quick time through this rough land thanks to these beasts that you're riding on that are able to bound across this rough landscape with ease. The next day passes over, or as you travel across this what once was grassland, eventually turns into this bad land, and then you notice as you are reaching this kind of plateau almost, the ground cover starts to change from just scrub and dust to you begin to see these, looks like this like almost pearlescent shards, almost looks like shale, but it's kind of like this hard stone-like material, but has this sheen to it. Covering the ground as in the distance, it becomes more and more prevalent, replacing any sign of grass or real life that you could find in this area. Meta, it is not Bellstone, it appears. It is this, not, you can't like see into it or through it at all like Bellstone. It is a much harder, stony sort of material. Would you like to take a moment to examine it? They're welcome to.
Yeah.
I might as well try it so I can fail real quick.
Yeah.
What is it?
Nature.
15.
It looks intriguing.
Whoa.
9.
What sorry,
actually,
this rock looks really intriguing.
Nature or history?
Same
Still
story.
9.
Yeah.
20.
Anybody get beat at 20?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
17.
And that was Rich?
Not natural, sorry.
What was it, nature?
Nature.
Or, okay.
Non-natural nature.
What you're looking like at, you can certainly tell is looks to be like a fossilized material, like a petrified stone or something. It's follows these definitely like organic seeming shapes, but the material itself seems to be something ossified or petrified, this very hard, brittle, stone-like material.
Ossified mean.
I guess that was not really appropriate because that'd be like turned to bone.
That means like yeah.
Yeah, it's like oxidizing. No, it's
Also, because like ossification is like turning to bone.
It's like I've only had one drink ossifer.
But it's like this petrified material, like petrified wood almost, but it's like this more like uniform, sort of like not more organic, but like this kind of like gentle curves mostly throughout it.
What shape is it in?
It's like looks to be like just shattered fragments, but each piece seems to be have at least like one side of it that has kind of a curve and the same sheen to it.
Is it sturdy?
Very brittle, but very strong. It seems.
Are the
Very
pieces
hard.
like pieces to a puzzle, like can be put together?
The ground, as far as you can see, and as you guys have been starting to move through this area, is just littered
Covered
with
in
this
it.
stuff.
Okay.
And as you all the ground is replaced by this, or at least covered by it.
How large is it?
Each piece ranges from very small to these like larger plates that are almost like have this bowl shape you can find. But the average size, I would say, maybe the size of your hand.
I'm gonna take a few, like not very large but large ones for my sling.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna put them in the mini hand pouch.
Yeah. You're able to.
Actually, no, I'm gonna put them in my pocket. We don't need to share those rocks.
Can we just call it the dick bag?
It's not a dick bag.
You guys have shifts. Like, I get 8 to 9 in the dick bag.
Kitty just keeps batting these goddamn snakes. Coming out of the snake bag.
Put your hand in the
She's like, the dick bag? You mean the snake bag? And the snakes keep coming out of it. Anyway. Yeah, you're able to are pretty rounded. The wind through this area is pretty strong, so it seems like a lot of the stuff has just been blasted by just like bits of sand and other debris that are windswept through this space.
It's petrified rock, everybody.
Hours later, as you travel through this now monotonous space, becomes more and more of a chore. You begin to crest this last ridge, and beneath you, you can see more of this petrified stone landscapes kind of just spread out before you for miles. You also see what looks to be a cluster of insects, but of a colossal scale. Your perception keeps trying to shift back between seeing these things as these like broken carapaces of these enormous insects, possibly like the size of a house or larger, back to them just like being these tiny little things. But then you realize again, it just shifts and you see that this is over a mile away. These things are enormous. And it just is staggering in its scale. Hertz says, "Welcome to Husk. We've made it."
This is what we've been looking for the whole time.
No, this is the last way station. You guys were stopping by Husk. You guys have left the Thousandfold Braid. The Husk is a small village out here in the Untamed Lands.
Darling, where's the litter box? It's been a while.
Just kind of shrugs and just like gestures around.
Just so everybody knows, we can now communicate telepathically.
Whoa.
Anytime you want.
Yeah. When I have my artificial mind on my person, which is my plant, anybody holding an infused item of mine, we can communicate telepathically.
Oh, nice. And you guys have something.
The bag of holding.
Yeah.
Or not a bag of holding.
Dick bag.
Dick bag.
Yeah, you're right.
Bag of dicks.
So long as you're holding a bag of dicks, you can hear. So before you in this kind of like sweeping plain of this like shattered stone landscape, you see these figures that look like just enormous creatures, and you realize now, Plant, that this material is not. It's like a petrified carapace, petrified exoskeleton that has been shattered into billions of pieces and scattered out throughout this area. These large figures, these large like house-sized insects that are kind of or carapaces of insects are clustered in this space where you can see a fairly well-traveled road passes through. You see dozens and dozens of these. A handful of them in the center of town are in relatively good shape. You see these looks to be like almost like a stag beetle, like just halfway stuck into the ground. Its carapace like protruding out with its horned head, just like glaring up into the sky. There are others kind of bunched around, some shattered, some relatively whole. Some, as you get closer, look like people have dragged some of these or shifted them to provide to abut one another. You see that this town appears to be, the people here appear to be living within the broken or not exoskeletons of some ancient creatures, long past dead. And with your role, you know that this whole region is covered in their remnants.
So it's all the same material that I picked up to.
These
Okay.
structures, these large creatures or carapaces that are still there, are glistening in the sunlight or gleaming in the sunlight with the same kind of pearlescence that one side of these shattered pieces all share. Hertz prattles on for a bit about Husk and it being called the crossroads of the shattered husk, or just Husk if you're not a hoity-toity, prick.
Hurts, what are these animals?
He says, well, rumor has it that, well, obviously these have been here for an awful long time, but rumor has it that these were titans of old, something back before history, back in the old wars with gods, when the gods strode the earth. Something calamitous seems to have happened here.
Do we see people walking around?
Yeah, you can see in the village, in the middle of this large cluster of shells, you see a number of people milling about, going about business. You see a few wagons being carried or drawn by various beasts of burden, camels and such.
Does anybody seem to care that we're here?
You guys are still a long ways off. You guys are up in this ridge, kind of looking down at this view.
Let's head into town.
Yeah,
Good.
let's head into town.
I mean, has
meant
Hertz
to,
been
right?
here before?
Hertz, he says, I've been here once, 30 some years ago. I've been here a long time.
This is part of our mission, though, right? Like, we're supposed to come through here, or is it just part of what
Our
Hertz
resupply.
suggested?
Hertz suggested this as a last stop, stop between
Good stop.
here and your destination.
Let's be a little guarded on the way down, just not being super obvious, but still making our way just in case things have gone awry in 30 years.
As you guys approach, you don't notice anything terribly, aside from just the strangeness of this place. And as you guys get close and you begin walking through the towering figures of these broken shells and whatnot around you, once you get over the initial strangeness, the people here, you see goblins, orcs, half-orcs, you see a few drow and others, a few Goliaths, seem to be just folk living, going about their business in what amounts to a small but normal, not too different from a city in the Braid, just a lot of different peoples trying to make their way as best they can. You guys pass by what look to be these large structures, and as you glance in some of the cracks and crevices, you see that these large shells have been kind of combined together to create this kind of large low-lying domes, are filled inside, and this like kind of dark, cool air comes out. They're filled inside with just rows and rows of hanging bits of carapace, long pieces, large pieces hanging from the air, and beneath, in the darkness as you pass, you can hear constant drip of water. Hertz, after some time leading you guys into the town, says, "All right, well, this is where I'll take my lovelies off of you. I'll bed them down at the beast pens, and you can fetch us when you're ready to leave tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Well,
Should we get to
pop
get
off
some
my
rest?
babies.
Yeah.
Jump off.
Do I need to do a check for
Animal handling.
Because I failed getting on, so.
Beastie bites you in the butt.
Yeah. Mine
You
definitely
guys
hates me.
dismount, and soon Hertz is seen trotting off with all of the other Beltags following his as he rides off towards the beast pens. On the other side of town.
Yeah.
Before he left, he did tell you that the Stag, the most prominent building in the town, is what amounts to the place's inn. You can also, you also saw, and if anybody, you saw the town's Grudge Square, which is where most towns in the Thousandfold Braid have their kind of legal issues, disputes resolved, often through combat. This town also seems to have one of those. There are a number of, as you spend a little bit more time walking through this space, you can identify that many of these like broken or like structures are composed of like multiple shells. Those appear to be domiciles for people. People kind of like making this kind of scrabbled living in these like little huts and crevices and cracks basically they've made. You see also as you get closer, the Stag rises above you, above the other buildings in the area as you make your way towards the center of town. And this is the one that you saw from afar. What looks like almost like a stag beetle with its the front portion just like jutting out from its face, staring into the sky, and those are the things you see.
Is that like is that a bar or something that's like?
The Stag is one of these like one horse town sort of bars slash tavern slash inn slash whatever else it needs to be sort of places.
Alright, I tell the group, I'll meet you at the Stag, and like runs off into the crowd looking for an alchemy shop.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Like alchemy or any place I could purchase potions, really poisons.
Okay.
Man, I should have played my other
give
character.
me an investigation check. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm just gonna head straight to the Stag. I'm gonna walk like a badass and try to intimidate everyone as I go there.
Okay.
So no one tries to fuck with me.
Give me an
Since
intimidation
I'm
roll.
huge.
As I'm going, I'm gonna have my imp start picking pockets, and anything that the imp grabs becomes invisible. So anything that it's carrying, holding, wearing becomes invisible.
At the time of casting.
Huh?
At the time of casting.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I would say it would have to take something and then turn that invisible too. It would have to like drop invisibility, then recast it. So there would be like a second where it could get caught. So give me a sleight of hand or a stealth. Well, give me a sleight of hand first and then a stealth roll. With advantage on both. How is your intimidation check?
It's 15.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, you're able to through town. There aren't many Goliaths here, and you definitely stand out. There's a pretty significant like goblinoid population here, goblins and hobgoblins and such. You also see a few of these like what some would describe as wild elves. Elves that are sometimes just in their youth, for whatever reason, have eschewed the comforts that their societies offer them and have left to seek their own lives.
Since when the elves join the Braid?
This is actually not in the Braid. You are in the Untamed Lands.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be intimidating. I would just already be a badass.
I'm just gonna go around exploring, talking to my plant about what I see and just the things that are happening in the town.
Describing the town.
Describing the town to the plant, just
Wonderful.
exploring,
This is town.
giving all the information I possibly can to the plant.
Okay. And you got a
16
on investigation?
Yep.
With a quick walk through town, you're able to like just kind of look around and size things up and try and get an idea of, if not who has this sorts of thing that you're looking for, but where to ask. And not every alchemist deals in poisons.
She's discreet about it.
Yes. And with that roll, you are able to identify, after asking around and somebody, you find a shop that, if not, like, you don't think it's going to have what you need, but they look amenable to questions. And after dropping a few silver, they direct you to 1 Foot Sparrow.
I head my merry way to 1 Foot Solo.
1 Foot Sparrow.
That's what I said. Stupid weed.
For how much you kill birds, maybe you don't belong there.
You find 1 Foot Sparrow is a figure in a completely covered from head to toe in a burqa, within a small kind of like out of the way little street shop, where it's
Street shop.
little more than just like a closet where this person is sitting in. It's kind of boxed in. There are drapes hanging, or curtains kind of hanging low over, so you can kind of barely even see this person through these sheer curtains, and then they are also covered with the burqa similar to the one you were wearing. You identify 1 Foot Sparrow as a tabaxi.
Oh.
A merchant. It's an uncommon profession for your kind. Itinerant travelers
kind.
and
Fuck,
wanderers
Mark.
of the world.
It's a little racist.
The tabaxi don't have a homeland of their own to claim. Most wouldn't find living in a particular city or place particularly appealing anyway. So they are perpetually a people on the move. But 1 Foot Sparrow nods to you as you approach the shop. You see a sundry of kind of fairly basic looking alchemy supplies here, a few potions, nothing of like really exceptional notice or interest. But after a little bit of introduction.
Speaking of thieves' cant.
Yes. And as soon as the thieves' cant is heard, you see little else but the change in the expression of the eyes of your new friend. And 1 Foot Sparrow says, discerning client, I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Is there
Darling, the
anything
pleasure's all mine.
Sure. Is there anything specific that you're looking for?
Perhaps some poison. A serpent poison, perhaps?
I have such a thing. How much did I say? How much?
It is 200 gold, according to the player's handbook.
Okay. This is a bit of a crossroads for illicit dealing. This is offered at a discount in this town. 175 gold per serving.
Well, you see, darling, I'm sitting on 100 and a couple of these doves. Pulls out a couple of doves that were killed earlier. Is there anything you could do for a kitty in need of a scratch?
It says, 1 Foot Sparrow says, interestingly enough, I've already been made aware that you were coming to town, and I'd hope to speak with you anyway.
Oh?
I represent an organization that could use some information. And you are in a position to provide it. Or you soon will be.
Lollipop Guild.
The mission that you are on, my organization would like to know what you find. What you find inside that building.
Absolutely. I believe for the right price, that could be arranged.
Well, how about 2 vials of this poison, and on the house up front to show our good favor. And if you return or are able to reply back, I'll give you a little something you can use to that endeavor. If you report back with information on what you found out there and in due time, when you return here, or when you make it back to Galthak, I believe is it Golzot? Golzot.
I mean, the other word sounded more familiar, but that might be.
One
that
is
might
the
be my
ruler,
boss.
one is the
Yeah,
city.
the back one's the ruler.
Aren't we in
It's
Husk?
Golzot. If you return to Golzot, you may find my another member of my organization there who will give you your reward. 1,000 gold pieces.
I'm used to these being missions about killing people, but I'll see what I can do, darling.
Surely you know that information can be just as dangerous as a...
Or an arrow. Who will we meet up with in Galzak?
They'll find you.
They will. They said that just wait for someone to present you with this calling card and present you with this small patch of leather that has a symbol emblazoned or like imprinted on it, and you can see what appears to be a staff with a serpentine figure writhing up it, where it breaks in parts into 2 heads.
No!
Thank you, darling.
They're everywhere. No more double-headed dildos. No.
Has word of the Brotherhood of the Double-Headed Asp made its way here?
The Order of the Twin-Headed Asp at least has 1 representative in Husk, and they have at least 1 contact in Gauthak.
Okay.
But this person is not about to reveal their entire organization to you.
So we don't know anything about the two-headed ass.
Give me...
I mean, I'm not there,
Yeah,
so...
you can give me a history check if you can know, to determine how much you know about the Brotherhood of the Twin-Headed Asp.
In my wanderings around, do I happen to see him wander into the shop as I'm like...
You stealth away. Do you want to give me the history check?
Yeah. Oh, for me or for him?
For you.
Oh, it's going to be a 17.
I'd say you know a fair to middling amount of information, or at least you're familiar with, you've heard of this organization.
I mean, she's used to dirty deeds. I'm sure it's
Dirty deeds!
done for free. No, it's actually a steep price.
Very expensive deeds. The dirtier, the more expensive. So, you guys make your way to the stag, traveling between these towering figures of these once enormous and powerful creatures.
15 sleight of hand, 18 stealth.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you are able to... They're just like looking for wealthier people to pickpocket. What's the guiding
Wealthy.
principle?
Anything interesting, you know, baubles or trinkets that could be useful. Just like if I see an interesting person, I'm gonna go through their pockets.
Okay. Yeah, there are quite a few people. There's a kind of a wide smattering.
But they have to
of
cross my
population.
path. I'm just kind of
Traveling
acting
through.
like I'm walking towards the.
Okay. Just telling the imp to like, right, that one right there. Yeah. Okay.
pretty much.
You pass by a number of people. You see, a cluster of hobgoblins that look to be in mercenary gear. Not particularly interesting. You find a bugbear that is covered in in just like jewels. Has this like elaborate gaudy jewelry and earrings and lip rings and things.
It's a bugbear pimp.
Are
there a bunch of other like women around him? Bugbear ladies.
It's got a giant chalice.
Seems like a good
seems to be a
target.
Cuffs.
And you, Gur is able to pick two pieces of jewelry out of their pockets. Two large rings, which you determine are mostly just for looks. They're not of exceptional value as you look at them later. Maybe worth 20 gold all told. Not bad though. Also sees another Goliath figure, a little bit larger than Major Libido, stalking through the street, covered in like leather armor and animal skins, despite the relatively temperate temperature in this area for this time of year.
Knitted two bears together.
Basically. Covered head to toe in armor and leather armor and also these skins, and wearing a number of weapons. This person looks very competent and comfortable in the out of doors. There is a moment when you think this figure looks directly at Gur. Passes by.
Girl was very nervous.
Imp shitting its pants.
All of a sudden, just shit falls out.
Yeah, from nowhere. Just.
All right. Anything else?
I know what I'm doing in the morning. I need to find a jug.
You guys make your way to the stag. You expect you'd probably be able to find a jug there.
Cool.
If anywhere.
What about a couple jugs?
How many jugs are you talking about?
Big jugs.
Huge old jugs?
Huge old jug. I only need one jug.
The stag, as you enter, you kind of like walk under the shadow of this enormous creature, and there is just like this piece that's like cut into the carapace, and in there is a door. Opening the door reveals a somewhat dimly lit interior of this space, which you imagine is like most of these places are. These buildings that seem to be built to endure the heat of the summer. They're not particularly cool. Not worried about the cool, temperate portion of the year that they experience right now. If you remember back in Fall Creek, it's getting awful chilly, but here it's still relatively warm.
Like sleep out under the stars warm?
A little cold for that at night, especially in this like kind of desolate area. It gets a little colder at night than it does in other areas, but it's definitely not. You could definitely, if you had equipment for it, definitely. But
Doesn't
not
have
without a
someone
sleeping
have
bag.
boots of... Oh, that's...
Another game.
Damn it!
You step into the stag and find a what appears to be a kind of like serve yourself bar, guarded by an ogre, towering figure, just like taking up a significant amount of this space. He's standing there, looking incredibly fucking bored. As you see one of the patrons comes up and like tosses a token into a large like tub or like bin right next to the ogre, and he just kind of gives him a grunt, and they pass by to access tankards of mead and stuff, and pours himself, refills his own tankard, and goes back to his table. Aside from the ogre taking up a massive amount of space, you find also a another bugbear. behind a counter, walking around occasionally with an apron and a towel across its shoulder. It's kind of matted fur protruding out from different patches and stuff. Probably wouldn't pass OSHA's inspection or like the, without like a net around its entire body. But it seems to be in the back and bringing food out, and also kind of like responding to some ribs and some comments and stuff from the drinkers here.
Do I see any jugs
Not
near the
immediately.
bar serving station?
But after a moment, when you get this bugbear's attention, it asks for jugs. Says, "Jugs empty? How many do you want?"
I need jug. I need a jug.
All right, I'll get you a jug. Anything else you folk want?
Just a jug for me.
You three came in
A
together.
room for the night.
Turns to you and then like looks over and has to incline his head, which for the bugbear is seldom a rare occurrence. You got a couple inches on him.
And plus, he's intimidating right now.
And he's got that swagger.
He's got the swag.
And my 9-headed flail.
He says,
Which is, it's not glowing anymore. Damn it.
Fuck.
Useless.
rooms, we've got rooms for you. Be 2 silver a head. Covers room, covers breakfast, dinner if you're up for it tonight.
What if we share one room?
How much a
Will
head?
be 4 silver total. We'll give you a discount.
Ooh.
Two apiece for separate rooms. Double bunking, half cost.
Is Kitty there right now?
You are arriving now. You
I
saw
pull
your
up on one of the
companions go
tables
ahead
and just kinda-
You kind of sneak in, and while the door is still shutting, you kind of go off into the shadows if you wish.
No, I mean she joins the group.
Okay.
And it's like my own room. I get my own room.
I look at her like where the fuck are you then?
Yeah, I asked for my own room.
I go like lay down by the fire and just like lay down.
He says, well, rooms each? Who's paying for this?
Each their own.
Alright, well, if you're staying under this roof, you're paying for a room, or you're paying for drink, or you're paying for food.
Room.
I'm waiting.
Room.
I don't have any money, so I'm just gonna continue laying by the fire.
You will
Have any
lay
money?
outside the building.
I'm already laying by the fire. I mean,
There's a slight whistle on the
Extra
ogre,
rounds.
like a nod to the ogre. And the ogre starts lumbering towards you.
I cast hidden step and turn invisible.
He kind of looks around like, give me a cell phone.
I'm invisible. I'll appease you.
Oh.
4.
He takes a few huffing moments as he kind of stomps towards you. You can hear you can see he's just like listening carefully and huffing down into your general direction from where he saw you last. And you can see he pulls out a large club and takes it with 2 hands.
All right, all right.
I
I'm trying to find you.
I throw 4 gold at them and say,
That'll do. Eyes you warily, seeing you for what you are for the first time.
A snake person.
How much is a single room?
and I have my imp go around the side and just pull and try to pickpocket them.
Yeah, you throw 4 gold to the person after like eyeing you for a moment. He like goes to pick it up, and as he's doing this, you see like his coin pouch is being pilfered through, and he like reaches back to stuff it in there. Meanwhile, you see just like a few coins like get pulled out, and for a moment you can see imp, and then it just disappears again. The coins disappear. That's how you get 2 gold back. The innkeeper says the 4 gold will certainly cover anything that you guys need for the next couple days. And if you pay for drink tokens in advance, drop them in the bucket, and Old Leg will let you refill your tankard. Anything else that
How
you
much
need
are
while you're
drink
staying here?
tokens?
Turn uninvisible and say, jug.
Nods to you, says 2 copper a token, and then comes back with a large jug for you, hands it off.
I
And
apply,
I go back to talking to my plant.
Okay.
I apply a vial of poison to some arrows.
Okay.
How long does that poison last
I
for?
buy
Until it's
some,
washed off or
buy some
used.
tokens.
Don't let those anywhere near me.
The bugbear just like hands you 3 for the money you've given already, and says, ask if you need any more. That's all. I've got work to do.
How many arrows get covered with poison? Is there? It doesn't really specify.
Doesn't say in there.
No. I could roll a d4 if that makes it a little more realistic to see how many
Can
actually.
you find me the section where it covers it?
It's in the. I have it pulled up here though. It's circled in.
So, there you have it up already. Oh, that's just for this one. So that's
Yeah.
a specific one.
Oh, is it for? Oh yeah, I'll look it up.
There's the deal. So, you guys have room and board prepared. As you guys are kind of getting yourselves situated, taking a look around the room, the space here, you see a number of pockets of activity as you guys kind of settle in to, I imagine, drink and eat at some point this evening, as it is approaching the end of the day. Are you guys all sitting together?
Yeah.
I'm up in my room.
You go up to your room?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll sit down. I'll sit with
Still sitting by the fire.
You're just gonna stay by the fire, and then I guess
We're
the 2 of
near
you are at a table nearby the fire.
Having some
so
drinks,
5
making
feet
sure
away.
he doesn't get into trouble
Okay.
again.
You
the imp goes up. Gur goes upstairs to explore.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, upstairs it finds a number of rooms. They're kind of like hastily built. The interior of this space, the outside is this this shell, but the interior is wooden, built to kind of fit. In some places, kind of poorly against the shell of the carapace of this creature. But mostly just rooms, a few closets it looks like, but mostly just rooms for lodgers above.
Is there anybody playing any games or anything?
Yeah, they're in the room you're in. You see a number of people, a number of, like I said, goblinoids, some goblins and hobgoblins in this space. You also, while you're sitting here, I would like both of you to give me a perception check. You as well.
Doesn't say. Let's see if there's anything.
What do you-
online.
Looking for? 18.
Poison rules.
9.
Which poison?
15.
How many arrows you could use, or how many arrows you could?
You notice a number of people in here. Most of the crowd here is already beginning to disperse at this hour. The dinner rush has already passed. A few people. There's some clusters now that are mostly just here for drinks and socializing, it seems. You recognize in one corner
3 pieces. Gotcha. Awesome.
the Goliath that you saw earlier through the you notice also
Do you want one?
an orc, a pair of orcs actually,
You can get an arrow that comes back.
eyeing Major Libido.
You better for throwing.
You see,
Because it's the same like that.
Telepathically,
what's
I
his name now?
communicate with Major Libido.
The daggers that can come
Yeah.
back. I mean, I could use a dagger, but I mean, I'm mainly going to be using
Are they in my
Yeah, you can have an arrow.
yeah,
those
once,
back.
Good poison
oh yeah, you guys
that
are kind of
always
in a corner
returns.
near this,
once it hits someone, it's gone.
like the middle of the room where the
Keep
fire
using
is
it over and over
here.
again.
Also
Otherwise,
making
you
an
guys are over in this
alchemist joke.
space here.
Yeah.
That can.
Keeping you in the fire.
Okay.
You're in a decent space that after
Well, if you
going
have
up
the
and
jug, you
getting
can
your next
poison as
drink,
many
you can
arrows as you want.
reposition yourself to be able to see them in the corner of your eye.
I say we try what we were gonna do earlier and send your little guy over there to surprise them, and then when they turn back around, we'll be right in front of them and ask them what they're looking at us for.
Are there people spying on us?
Clint, you also notice what catches your attention is a goblin in one of the corners. He, unlike most of the goblinoids here who appear to be either like scavenging or military caste, if there were caste here, this goblin seems to be somewhat quiet, somewhat reserved, and seems entirely preoccupied with some strange devices it has over there in the corner.
I walk up to him slowly and just start staring over his shoulder.
Okay. And you two?
Wait, is it the same person that we were?
Nope,
people that-
goblin.
Someone else?
Goliath, orcs.
Oh, orcs. Okay, there's a goblin person. Okay, do you want to try that? And
So they're just looking at us, and are they in a corner?
They're just socializing, they're talking, having, just talking over drinks, laughing raucously from time to time.
So I have, how high is the ceiling?
The ceiling here, it's not terribly high, maybe 8 to 9 feet.
So can Gur do a kind of like a fly/crawl along the ceiling? Like
The ceiling is certainly rough enough for Gur to get a good grasp and like crawl around on it.
Okay. Alright. So in him, is there a space between them?
Yeah? You could, like on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could climb up over, like over above them on the ceiling.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna have Gur, the plan is Gur's gonna drop down in between them and just appear. And then, while he has as soon as they turn their attention to him, I'm gonna dismiss him to a pocket dimension and we're gonna run up. And we're gonna,
wow.
like, come up to them.
yeah, and just be really intimidating. Like, what can we do for you guys?
Okay. You do so. Gur.
This was
stealth-
so.
Give me a stealth check for Gur real quick.
16.
16. They don't seem to notice as Gur is like creeping along. It's like as he's doing it initially, you can hear like a little faint scratching as his like little claws like grasp in different places, but he's away from you on the ceiling. They don't seem to notice. And Gur like just drops down and flashes visible and uses scare, or does he do that?
He
one?
doesn't do
he doesn't do that. He's
just
gonna do the old
starts-
al natural scare, like
Yeah,
who?
it's a little demon.
Grrr.
It's like right in between them.
Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Intimidation check, please.
Both of us, or just for this little creature?
He's doing it for you.
Oh, that's not gonna be good. Ooh, nat 20.
There was a moment where one of them is about to take a drink, and you can see the tankard just slosh for a moment, and the person just frown, and suddenly an imp is standing on top of their drink right in front of their face, and they just like tip all the way back in their chair, falling back. Gerd jumps back and turns to the other one and like rears up, and, like hisses at them as best as it can, its tiny shape, and then poof, is gone. The moment you guys see this happen, you rush forward up to the table.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's put my hand firmly on one of their shoulders and ask why they keep eyeing us.
There's the one that fell back appears to be this male orc and like this with this kind of dark grayish blue skin. The other that was also frightened but not quite so directly is this other orc with kind of like brighter shaded skin, but she begins laughing uproariously as the other one like slowly like gets up and with a significant amount of embarrassment kind of like brushes himself off and then sits back down, and he kind of like after a long drink he looks up at you guys as the other one's finally recovering herself, and she says, that was good. He deserved it. Name's Ogleb. I'm eyeing you because I think I've identified you as members of the Braid. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. Who are you guys?
We're also here on Braid business.
Oh yeah? What's your mission?
I am Ogled Longclaw of Luthik, the Cave Mother. This is Volgel, Blade of Ilnival, Battle Captain of Grush. We've come representing our clans to see if we can bring more of our ilk to the fold up here in the Untamed Lands. Mostly little whelps not worth our time, but better with us than against us in the coming wars, eh?
Is there anything I can see just to make sure this isn't like a case of stolen valor? And they're not really
Yeah, give me an
for the
insight check.
parade. Do I have to?
They're just here for the veterans discount.
Okay, 13.
13.
But it is my profession.
But
I'm also not very insightful.
she appears to be genuine. You can definitely tell the laugh was genuine. The laughter was genuine, and what follows seems to be similar outpouring of like kind of good-natured camaraderie.
Gotcha.
I have Gur reappear and take 2 drink tokens over to the flyover with 2 drink tokens, deposit them, and bring back 2 mugs of ale.
Perfect.
Set them down.
Back, like he's like hovering and like struggling under the weight as he flaps his way over there. 2 drinks slosh down, spilling a bit on the table.
And I put them. I already have one, so I just have Gur put them in front of the people we just met. It's like,
the other one was still nursing a grudge, it seems. He, after like finishing his drink, he sees this one plop down on the table in front of him, and that causes a wide grin to cross his face. He says, "Fine then, I'll take your pity beer," and takes it, drinks the entire thing in one go. Oglub turns to you and says, "I take it you're the leader of this crew of yours?"
I am.
Well, may I have a word privately?
You may. Yeah. You want to just head over near the fire?
She stands up and goes up to the bar, getting 2 more drinks, and coming back to meet you at where the fire is. She hands you a wide flagon of something that smells sweet and of liquor. Taking a drink, it's some thick, spicy, but still sweet liquor. And she nods to you and
Must be some drink.
heads for a cheers gesture. And she says that
What did
You're
she
getting
say?
sloth.
I'm so excited.
he says, my contacts, what they're worth, have indicated that the Empire at least knows of whatever your mission is, even if I don't. Be careful moving forward.
You have intel that our jig is up?
The Empire at least knows that you were up to something. They've been a buzz of it. Those that my agents have captured and tortured have revealed some knowledge of this event, of your coming, and of your goal. I admit I'm light on the details myself.
Has there been any rumor of them making any particular attempt to thwart us?
I wish I knew that, brother, but be careful. What rumors I have heard indicate that the Empire might be baiting us into a conflict sooner than we wish. Might be baiting us into a conflict with the free cities.
Those are the ones in the middle.
Of which Ketan and Valkreath are among.
Interesting.
They're masters
Says-
at baiting.
You guys know that the free cities are kind of exist in kind of this like quasi-independent state where they have the protection of the Gwengold Imperium, but are not officially a part of the Imperium and not required to follow its rules or laws. So what Oglub seems to be indicating is that the Empire might be trying to bait the Thousandfold Braid into a conflict with the free cities themselves.
Gotcha.
And she says that be careful that start a war against a lesser foe, one that we might be able to separate from the Imperium.
Could these lesser foes be ones that go travel between trees?
Says
Perchance.
possibly. I know there are nature magic wielders within the free cities.
So if we killed the fuck out of a whole bunch of Empire people, then that's what we wanted to not do?
Saying the Empire is no issue, war with them is inevitable. Assuming he brought this
No,
up.
I didn't do this. Like, I'm just thinking out loud.
You can speak telepathically. Well, I guess you'd have to.
I can with a good 30 feet, but I can't listen in on what he's doing. Like, he can't talk to me, I can't read his mind, so it's
Yeah.
like...
But he can tell
do
us
you have any
telepathically.
clarifying questions or anything?
I don't think so. Like, these guys have their own mission, right? They're not gonna, like, join us.
No.
I think I'll use my little communicator device thingy.
You just get to talk to.
and let my people know.
I hand Gur...
Oh, fuck. Speaking of communication devices, I forgot to give you yours. In addition to the symbol that was provided,
An iPhone.
sorry, Libido. One Foot Sparrow also gives you a small communication device. It can.
You can only talk to me.
What are you talking about?
It has.
You
is
can
paired
telepathically
with
communicate with me.
Device that is
I have a
basically
thing
held back
that
at their
as a Braid person,
HQ, and
used
you
to
will press it.
My general
And
or
it's
whatever.
maybe like a small like
The higher people
handheld
up.
size boot
top
cylinder,
people,
and you need to press it, and what will
It's not
happen is it
special
will
magic, okay? So-
begin to like ping the other end, the receiving end, and it will begin to like vibrate until they like receive it.
Twist my arm, Jay.
Hey,
Twist my arm.
hey,
She is very excited to have this.
Looks at you and says, "Do not misuse this device."
She snaps a claw.
You wanting another one, Joel, or just me to put that okay?
Do I see any cool trinkets with that dude?
What dude? Well, first let's finish this up. Communication device. You can use it in secret or out in the middle of this room.
In secret.
Okay.
You guys don't know about it. So
I
stop
don't.
listening.
I'm
Sorry.
not listening.
You can give me a stealth roll.
Yes. Finally, a good roll. 22.
That beats anybody's passive perception. Nobody said they were staring at him with suspicious eyes.
No, I'm
so
just hanging out awkwardly with Oglum.
okay, you're able to sneak, make your use of the stone.
They're onto us.
I hand Gur a piece of a gold piece that flies over and buys himself some meat. Purchase some.
He's able to enough that they're able to speak common. Does he just like?
No, he
Fiendish?
goes over there and then
Oh, you speak through it.
I go
Perfect.
I just like
Some meat.
they look at him very oddly.
Okay. So you. The Imperium may know.
That we might be.
Oh wait, no, the imp can speak common now.
So it can.
Yeah.
Then I at least. Well, I mean, is he? Are you in your room?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, at one point or another, I want to relate everyone to like, be more cautious listen. Let's try to be more tactical than just aggressive as we go out into this
You need to tell that.
untamed.
Find yourself holding your plant, looming over a goblin who is lost in his work, it seems. He appears to be like working on some device. Looks like a modification of a hand crossbow. It looks to be like refining some design of one, perhaps. Looks like the original was, you would guess probably made by in the West by the Imperium. But he's taken this thing and he's trying to improve upon it and make it his own. He seems to have added an extra like bow with another another draw bow with string, so it can shoot multiple times now before it has to be reloaded. He's tinkering away at it, and just like as you're kind of staring at him, he like for one moment like sees the shadow and he like looks up, and as he does look up, and just hear this snap as a piece of his little component here just like breaks and the tension is lost. It's like God fucking damn it.
What kind of tools is he using?
He looks to have some pretty finely crafted little tools. What tools are you familiar with?
Tinker tool? I am proficient in calligraphers, forgery, thieves' tools, tinker tools, and alchemist supplies.
Looks like tinker tools.
I hand him some tinker tools to replace the one he just broke.
Perfect.
And then I pick up the bow and just start looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking.
Yeah, he says, hey. Oh. You're, interested. Are you a fellow, thinker, then? He kind of pipes up at you from this, like, he's, like, looking up at you from this tiny seat at this,
Thinker? What is this?
This is the goblins. Most of the people in the Braid don't look on us who use our brains more than our brawn to solve problems. They don't look on us well.
That is true. I am just a seeker of information.
Well, be pleased to make your acquaintance.
Now inform me.
myself.
What is
So
this?
giddy.
Well, it's a little something I've been working on. I found this from someone I killed, and I thought I could make it better.
Is it
It
better?
hasn't gone well so far, but I'm working on it.
What is your goal?
I want it to be able to kill more than one person before you have to stop killing people.
It's a lofty goal.
What do you need to finish it?
he starts rattling off some ideas for like finishing this thing. Give me an intelligence check.
Natural 20.
You can see that what he's planning on doing is like fundamentally flawed. It's going to put too much stress on the main like beam of this hand crossbow, and it's eventually going to break even if he's successful in doing this. And you figure
It won't
probably
work.
reinforce this, and if it could take the stress,
Add an extra bolt.
you
Here.
guide him, give him a few pointers on how to.
I guide
correct
him
his design.
smoothly and how to insert the pin.
Is it like Ghost? Are you like behind it?
Oh yes.
You spend maybe half an hour with him as he's like going through your instructions and stuff.
And you said you are an intelligent fellow.
He says,
Credit where it's due. Well done. You're a clever man yourself. I don't suppose you'd be interested in joining my organization. Well, our organization.
How does one join an organization he's already in?
I'm asking you to join an organization that I'm in.
Oh,
I don't think you're in it.
how do you know?
You know of the League of Logisticians, Investors, or inventors, geonomists, magisticians, or magicians and alchemists?
What is that?
Do you
What is that
know of that?
Well,
called? Ligma?
we of Ligma are the brains of the Braid, and we could use a man of your potential.
What's
What intelligence looking like?
Is it balls?
No, his name is Illspot.
Oh, okay.
I pick up the thing and just walk back to the fire.
He comes tottering after you. Says, "Yes, if you're interested, the very spheres that compose the organization of Ligma. If you join one of us or take part in any of us that you find yourself appropriate for, and you could really be in a great effort."
I start nodding as I take out a rope and cast a rope trick on it, and then climb up into a magic portal and disappear.
He's talking at you, and then it just like closes up, and he's just like, "What? What?" You guys just see as he's just like completely befuddled for a moment, and then he just kind of shrugs and like heads back to his table.
Poor little guy.
Oh. Poor little guy.
Is there like a blacksmith in this
What is this bow that I now have? Does it have some sort of special ability?
Did you just steal his
Right
fucking
now,
shit?
it's gonna take some work. In time, you think you could fix his design to make an improved hand?
Oh, I thought we spent 30 minutes fixing it.
30 minutes was not enough time
Ah.
to fix this contraption. It's on its way to improvement.
still worth it to
Jesus
get away from
fucking
that guy.
Christ. All right. While I'm in my little portal, I just start working on it a little bit.
Did he notice that it's gone now?
He was so preoccupied, he seems befuddled. Like now he's just the person who's talking to is just gone, and he doesn't know what to do. He's kind of like keeps glancing back in that direction. You guys see as the
Hot
night goes
Boy's
on.
just Hot Boy's just watching this.
Yeah, you know, a lot of goblins are used to getting pushed around.
I walk over to Hot Boy walks over to him and says, you know, and then casts friends and says, "Hey, it's okay, buddy. He just wasn't that into you." Natural 20.
His eyes brighten, and he's like, "Is he a friend of yours? Do you want to become a member of one of the spheres of Ligma?"
And I say,
One of the spheres of Ligma.
You really need to go to sleep. You're really tired right now. You've exhausted yourself again. I told you this.
Yes, I have. It's been a long night. He finishes his drink with this large tankard that's holding his tiny goblin hands, and he shrugs. He's like, "Well, back to work tomorrow, I guess. See you, friend." And he totters off upstairs.
As he leaves, I come out, continuing to work on this.
You guys can spend the remainder of the evening as you see fit, working on stolen objects or drinking or what have you. And the following morning, you'll prepare to depart once again. You want to take a little break?
Sounds good.
I think most of you missed the part where Jeremy Meow got a vibrator.
Ligma balls and a vibrator.
Hell yeah.
Oh god, that's funny.
Oh yeah, sorry, food. I don't have any.
I heard slice of beer.
Slice of beer.
I'm gonna take a slice of this beer.
The glass that you spotted earlier, Hot Boy, is in the stag, and you notice that this figure is giving you some eyes through the night. Not friendly eyes, like confrontational. I think I just took my glasses off, folded them, and then put them back on. Like, nope, can't see without them. Still,
It was pretty dramatic.
yeah. It's like when I borrow somebody's book if they're using it in a specific place, or like player's handbook, and then I look something up and then slam it shut for effect. I can't help it.
I've gained the knowledge.
And on one occasion when you are going up to get a refill, the figure also gets up and what languages do you speak?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Slytherin's good language. Parcel tongue.
Common, abyssal, draconic.
How did you learn each of those? Do you remember?
That's just the ONT. That's,
You want to get those?
yeah.
Okay.
Very carefully.
Wow, Drew.
Oh, sorry, this is not what I thought it was.
The Goliath gets up and kind of like paces towards you as you're making your way towards the tankards. Eventually, also dropping a token in and like shouldering into you as he gets up, sidles up to the large barrel next to you, giving you a pretty kind of hard shove. In Draconic, he says, "Play with me, brother."
Ew.
And then he kind of like he pulls back his drink and he says, "What did you call me?" and gives you a huge shove.
I called you the inbred freak that you are.
He just like stands up, going to his full height, seems to be a few inches even taller than Major Libido, glowering down at you, and he says, "Care to take this outside, serpent scum?" And begins like shoving you, pushing you out towards the door.
I was delighted. I hold the door for them.
Looking around, you guys see that most of the patrons of the are pretty nonplussed by this. Either this happens so frequently, or this person specifically is so regularly the cause of scuffles like this. They're just like, they like look over and then just go back to their drinks and conversations as if nothing was wrong. He shoves you his way out of the bar, and one moment as you lock eyes with him, his eyes take on a similar vertical, or pupils take on a similar vertical slit as yours for just a moment, and then they slip back into the normal round Goliath eyes. He pushes you out of the building and begins like this whole fight. You can see as he's like even like beginning to push you, he's acting it up, but he's pulling his pushes and begins to get into a fist fight, like it started acting out a drunken fist fight with you.
Do we see this?
I like not.
If you want to.
I just follow.
Yeah. One of the passing by patrons, as you are keeping eyes on this, he says, this hobgoblin says,
I communicate telepathically.
"Don't mind V-Mac. They'll be friends by the end of the night. He just loves to fight."
I just continue following them.
Yeah. You follow them out, and he begins like shoving you and starts some fisticuffs, starts boxing you. And
I
a
match it
good-natured
as well
brawl,
as I
it
can,
seems.
but I'm just like small.
Yeah. With his play acting this, he even like gives you the opportunity to like throw in a few good shots, and not as skilled at like, he is. You like knock him a few times, pretty solidly. The impact feels different than it should.
I take it back and I kind of like message him, just like, what are you?
The fight goes on, and the shouting goes on for a while as he continues this play act. And within like maybe 5 minutes of this tussle, he's like huffing and breathing heavily and begins laughing uproariously. And he says, "Good fight. I went toe to toe. Let me buy you a drink." And takes you back inside and finds a table just.
So just awkwardly following them.
Okay. Just way out in the open, like when they go to their.
Yeah, I'm just following them.
Okay.
Sit down next to him.
He says, he looks at you and he says, and as you settle down next in the same booth, he says, "I'd hope to have some time alone with my new friend."
Okay. And I continue sitting there.
Do you mind leaving?
I don't mind. But I keep sitting there.
He looks at you, kind of like,
I look at him and I
Start tinkering with my.
wait. I kind of send a message with my mind. I'm just like, you won't leave.
he responds back telepathically and says, they cannot hear this. He's asking if they'll be able to open communication between you two.
No, I don't think so.
That's true?
I don't know.
We'll say it for the sake of it. I'm pretty sure you can control your ability.
I can yeah. Well, I can communicate with who I want to. It's
Yeah.
just a one way for me.
Just everyone
so-
hears them all the time.
They can't communicate back to you telepathically?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, then he can't say that to you.
No, he can't say that to me. So
Okay.
it's like
Well, he says,
I cast friends, and I look at my compatriot. I say,
Could we please have a moment?
I think you need to make a saving throw.
Of what?
you have to beat a. Okay, so I have.
What's saving throw? If you say charisma, you win.
I think it might be.
Oh yeah, it's a. I have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of my choice.
Well, you.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Oh, you have advantage though, so roll again.
I did though.
Oh.
You beat me. I rolled a 19.
Oh.
Yeah. You know that you use friends?
Yeah.
Well,
The
then-
subject knows that a spell's been cast on them when you use friends on someone, I believe. It
Yeah.
says it in the
And he did.
description.
Now he's not liking me.
Yeah,
Oh, I
you're
can
at the
choose
very
whether or
least-
not I
yeah,
don't
you're
like
at the very
you.
least aware that he attempted some
And I don't like
manipulation
you.
right there to convince you to leave.
And I cast disguise self to make myself look a little bigger than my 8-foot person already is. And I just get bigger next to them and continue
bigger
doing
next
what
to
I'm
them.
doing.
The Goliath just kind of shrugs and he says, "Walk with me."
Alright, so I stand up.
I follow them.
Close enough that they can't whisper.
I mean, they can whisper if they want to, but I'm just walking with
Will you
them.
be able to hear them? Like, if they're trying to be discreet, will they? Are you walking so close that they cannot whisper to each other without you overhearing? Is what I'm asking. How socially awkward are you being?
My charisma's -3. That's socially awkward.
Pretty awkward.
You can still play that however you
Uh,
want to.
I'm going to be like a few steps behind, but
Okay.
I have her come in and start flying in between us, just like right in front of him, just like, and like flapping his wings directly at his head.
Okay.
I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm just trying to watch out for my friend.
It's like, and then I telepathically say, he'll distract him for a few moments. As long as we're discreet, you can say what you need to say.
Okay. In that case, getting as soon as Plant is as distracted as possible, he takes you forward a little bit more quickly, to get a little more distance as much as possible, and begins whispering quickly. And he says that, "Will you serve the sovereignty of the sleeping serpent?" And he encourages you to report what you find to the Empire, to the Serpent Empire first, to prevent, if possible, your Major Libido from reporting into the Braid on time. And, if at all possible, rumor has it that the Imperium has invited a group of spies and representatives from the free cities on a tour of the Untamed Lands. The Imperium wants the Braid to begin fighting with the free cities to start a war that will cause the free cities to join them rather than separate from them. The sovereignty of the sleeping serpent
While he's talking, I notice that they've gotten a little ahead, and so I
Would,
start quickly
like
trying to
to-
catch up.
their plans align with the Imperium's at this time.
Sleeping serpent.
A war between the Braid and the free cities and then the Imperium would be ideal.
And I was like, you know where my loyalties lie.
And it says, "We shall see, brother." And stalks off.
And then,
What was he saying?
What was he talking to you about?
he's drunk.
Weird fellow, though. Wouldn't you say?
Strangest I ever met.
What do you think of my my cool new toy?
It's badass. Girl wants to play with it.
Nah.
He doesn't know how
I turn around and walk away. I go to bed.
For a moment, you feel an extra weight, like a light on top of the crossbow that you're holding, and then it like flutters off. You hear flapping of wings. All right. Following
And in the morning, I got a brand new alchemist jug.
you have an alchemist jug, I guess. Congrats.
Thanks.
Good for you.
Should
Should I not? Is that way OP? Should I not have given you a common jug?
Well, now I have an alchemist jug. I mean, and it's not too OP. I can make
Yeah, you know me.
I can make a dip. Not too OP. Yeah, I can make. Choose what? Oh no, that's not it.
Well, in the morning.
Basic
Gathering yourselves
poison,
together.
beer, honey, mayonnaise,
Two.
oil, vinegar, water,
Mayonnaise.
wine.
That's funny.
I can make any of those things.
Oh,
Mayonnaise
Come
would
out of
definitely
it.
Come in
Yeah.
handy.
Mayonnaise. Delicious. You're gonna gargle
popular.
mayonnaise.
gallons of mayonnaise.
Very popular in the brain.
Yeah.
Fucking love.
Gallons, not
2
not
gallons.
only
is
2.
gallons. It's like the Midwestern diet. It's just like macaroni salads galore.
Yeah.
You guys gather together, go about your rituals and practices, calisthenics, etc. Have breakfast, and meet up with Hertz on the south or the other side of town to begin your journey. As you are traveling through town, Major you notice a figure step out from the crowd. You see a woman, human woman.
She hot.
She's wearing the robes of the goddess of Loviatar. Your goddess.
Oh fuck yeah, she's hot.
She. The robes are black and they are blood red. And around the robes are wrapped this like a kind of like a this chain with these every once in a while these like 3-sided spikes wrapped around her body, keeping this like robe cinched tightly around her, and on her arms.
Suddenly,
you
the
can
many-handed
see-
pouch gets a little fuller.
You guys are all like, what the what?
Her arms and legs both you can see this this binding like cuts into her skin. You can see blood pouring down her arms and her legs.
She likes it.
She nods to you, and she says, "Greetings, brother.
Hey.
I am Lasher. I'm a Lasher of Loviatar.
I start like trying to wipe
A
off the
reminder
blood.
for you."
Just trying to like clean her up. Just like, man, you're a little dirty. This is blood.
As you begin to approach her, reach out to her, a barbed whip lashes out towards your hand. Do you continue trying to violate and touch this woman without her permission?
I like dodge it and be like, just trying to help you.
She's fine. Trust me.
Oh, okay. Just start talking back to my plant again.
She says, "I've come with a reminder, a message." And she hands you what looks initially to be just like a folded parchment or something, or like a leather booklet. You recognize it immediately as skin parchment. A message of great intimacy from someone within the Church of or the priesthood of Loviatar to another.
Okay.
She passes this off to you and then withdraws back into the crowd. You unfold this flap of skin, undoing these knots that you recognize as those of your mentor, Flagellant Bulgus.
There's some great names in this one.
Oh yeah. Flatulent being like the first name.
Flagellant.
Flagellant.
It's a title.
Is it
A
just a
flagellant.
Oh.
It's like flagellation. Like
Oh,
whipping
I
stuff.
get you. And,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the next?
Bulgus is his name.
Bulgus.
Bulgis.
Oh, okay. I was gonna do
Flagellant Bulgus.
Got it. Of course.
Says, "Your service to Loviatar brings you honor. Will you serve now while so many waver under her lash? Pain is the one unifying truth, if I taught you anything."
I'm trying to read over his shoulder.
"Our people must suffer. In suffering we find ourselves, we find our strength. Some leaders of the Braid strive to save the thousandfold from pain. They seek an alliance with the free cities. To shield the decadent from privation is sin. We must make suffer those who have hidden arrogantly from Our Lady for far too long. War must find its way to the free cities. Many parties are interested in the subject of your mission. If you can tip events in Our Lady's favor, pain will visit all. Flagellant Bulgus."
Right on.
I take it and I authentic.
You are just
No,
like
you don't
taking
No, I literally take it out of his hand and I just like,
the,
does it look authentic?
Attack roll. Actually, give me a dexterity check versus opposed dexterity check.
Just what it just rolling. Oh. What is it?
It
Doesn't count.
doesn't count, sadly. It is a natural 20, but it doesn't count 'cause it's on the floor.
Oh, is that the rule?
Yeah. Nothing cocked and nothing off the table.
What was it for? Dexterity?
Dexterity.
15.
Fuck, 9.
You reach out for it, but you quickly snatch it away from the seeking hands of Plant. You, what's wrong?
I ask him in giant and I say, I really want to see that.
I'm not a giant.
You speak giant.
Do I?
As a Goliath, you do.
I'm not gonna show you, and I managed to like destroy it in some way.
Okay.
I look after the crowd to see where that lady went. Can I still see her?
Give me a perception check.
I'm gonna cast Conquering
The
Presence.
only reason I'm doing this is my character's pretty smart. And I've seen a few random people walk up to a bunch of my friends. What was I giving you? Perception?
Perception.
Hot
15.
seems to have disappeared into the crowd.
I like run just to see if I can catch up.
Yeah, running through the crowd, even with your height, you like keep glancing around. There's the, you would think if you could, you'd certainly be able to spot a human and this priestess if anybody, but she seems to have made good her escape. There's nowhere to be seen. You must have dodged through an alley that you couldn't see something.
You should consider yourself lucky that you didn't find her plant.
I continue with.
I communicate telepathically with his.
We must keep an eye on him.
I'm concerned
You
that
more
I've so
secrets than
far
any of us.
seen a random stranger attack my friend and whisk him off to Whisper. A random lady bleeding from arm and leg, handing you a letter.
Not that weird.
It is weird.
You recognize that she was wearing some of the same colors as him. You would certainly realize that she belongs to the same holy order.
These two Whisper. Did I catch any of the weirdness yesterday?
Which weirdness?
Well, watching those two fight. How obvious was it that it was fake?
Fake fight? Give me an insight check.
21.
You rolled a natural 20 on this performance.
Oh!
Seemed like a legitimate fight. Seemed like a person who just fucking loves to brawl and does so for the enjoyment of the fight and makes up with whoever it does. Like that seems to be also supported by whatever that person said, that hobgoblin said that VMAC just loves to fight. Probably be best friends by the end of the night, is what they said.
Alright, well. If no one's giving me anything else.
Were you telling everyone that message, or was that just what you said?
He's just confronting all of us.
Right.
Is that what he said?
Oh no, I'm talking to everybody right now.
And
Gotcha. I mean, are we using telepathically? Because I'm nowhere near you.
We're all
yeah, you
together
guys
now.
You guys are kind of like on your way, loosely making your way
Oh,
out of
okay.
town.
Never
I'm
mind.
talking about this out loud right now to
gotcha.
everybody. That this is kind of weird. I have
Range,
suspicions.
in hearing range of your major.
No, I'm talking to
us?
everybody, the
Oh.
whole group of people, saying.
Well, as far as I see
So far, I have seen a random person take this man aside.
yeah.
A lady that you don't know, but you assume to be.
Well, you
And
tell us your name, and then maybe we'll have some conversations.
I don't have a name,
Oh,
sir.
well, I guess you'll never know.
Yeah, I think Kitty's completely like
You got secrets too, friend.
disinterested. Just whatever. I'm here to kill something. This is none of my business.
I continue talking to the plant, but I am suspicious.
You believe me?
My intelligence.
I'm not crazy.
No,
You're crazy.
I'm just telling him the things that are happening and putting the things in my mind in the plant.
Sure. Okay.
Explain my drunken forays.
Yes, maybe.
No, darling, no one wants to hear about that anymore.
Okay.
All right.
Well, on we head, I guess.
You guys find your way to the animal pens, and there you wake Hertz, who is sleeping with the beasts, just laying in a pile of these like enormous rhino beetles with these that spit acid and take chomps out of horses like nothing. And he's just there, sleeping away, snoring softly, surrounded by hideous monsters that could eat him in a second. And have probably themselves taken a bite or two out of him over the years. You see in this position even more of the wounds he's suffered. It's a wonder he can get around at all when he's not on atop one of these beasts. But after rousing him from his sleep, he quickly gets them ready and walks you guys through how to saddle them up again. And off you go on your way.
Let's say hi to one of the beasts that I'm riding and say, hey, how's it going? How's your night?
They can't talk back, right?
They can't.
They
can't speak back to me.
Animal handling roll, because I'm actually. Yeah, actually, I've been meaning to do this. Each of you give me animal handling.
Animal
handling.
Got a
Do I love
7 and
animals,
15.
dude?
Okay.
13, 17.
Oh, that's not the right thing. That's the.
You want me to yell more numbers in your
Here we
direction?
go. All right, Joel.
7 and 15.
7, 15. All right, Evan.
Nat 20 and a 13.
Nat 20 for a total of.
Oh my god, and plus 2 more, so 22.
22 and a 13. Little asterisk, so I know it's a nat 20, even though that doesn't really matter for skill
matters
checks,
to
but
me.
it makes people feel better. Jared.
2 and 15.
2 and a. Right, and Drew.
13, 17.
15, 17.
Same thing.
All right, I'll say that Joel, or Plant rather, you're still having a hard time connecting with your beast of burden, despite your ability to your ability to converse with it. In fact, it seems like it gets more annoyed with
I
you
get
when you
advantage
talk
on
to it.
charisma checks against these animals. Is this a charisma? I guess it's not. Animal handling is wisdom.
Handling. I'll give you advantage on these since you're talking with it, though. We can upset this.
So that would
7
be
turns into a 19.
plus 2, which is an 11.
21.
Yeah. And whatever. And 18, so it's 20.
Yeah,
Okay, and a 15.
real nice.
Okay, well that brings you to
Yeah,
2
is that
successes
the trick?
out of
You just-
3.
the bigger the die, the better
with
the
some
rolls.
wiggle room. So,
We get a bigger die.
despite the initial distaste for you that seems to have come over the beast, over the days of expressing your concern for it and just your interest in its day and how it's going through these long miles and miles of expanse, it seems to be coming around.
Dope.
Connecting with you in a way it doesn't connect with anybody else.
Give it a pat on its head.
Oh, this is getting weird.
Yeah.
Evan, Meow Mix,
Fancy
you are still having a little bit of trouble. You kind of it's begrudgingly okay with you at this. You have a pretty, in the future, pretty medium difficulty for animal handling checks.
Okay.
Plant has a reduced difficulty because of his connection with the beast.
I'll throw it a dead dove.
He loves it. Hot boy,
I thought those were for
you're
you.
struggling.
Yeah.
Struggling. You're gonna have
Brothers
a
as
hard difficulty for your animal handling checks. And Major Libido, you've been right on the fringe.
Yeah,
you've had
rough start,
2 just
so-
bare successes and 1 just bare failure. So you're more or less in the same boat as
Hot boy. Hot boy candle.
Fancy beast?
yeah, Fancy Beast really not doing great, but not doing bad. You're at
Kitty
medium.
kitty kitty meow. Meow.
Medium.
Chairman.
So,
Meow.
That's how you call her.
Here, kitty 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 kitty
Do I
kitty.
spray you with a bottle when you're bad? No.
And then she stabs you with the dagger. That's a warning. It's a warning stabbing. It's just a
Yeah.
dagger.
Hey, stop it.
Okay,
Cut it out.
this has been recorded. So, you guys continue your adventure forward into the Badlands that are the kind of outer regions of the Bone Wastes and the upper regions of the Untamed Lands. I would like you guys to give me a team nature roll. Roll for Hertz.
Back at it.
9.
9,
15.
15,
13.
Natural 1.
Nicely done. All right, and Hertz with an 8 for a total of 10.
Oh,
Not a great round.
no, not at all.
Not good.
You know, I held my end of the bargain. That's all that matters.
You guys continue your way north through various ravines and hard passages through this pretty rough territory in the southern region of the Badlands. This is you
Grr flying above,
okay, scouting around.
scouting around, and he actually, keeping an eye out for like the party that
Those
you
bad
and I
guys.
talked about. Yeah, those bad guys that we're supposed to look for.
The Imperium
The
folk?
tour. Yeah.
Okay, and the Free Cities.
Yeah.
The Imp does keep an eye out.
Oh, only you know about that.
But you guys continue on northward. You guys have found you've finally passed through this area of those the strange like that petrified shell covered area. Marching through that, you find your creatures and most of your cells are just covered in kind of this like grayish white powder. That's just like the dust of that region. You guys make your way northwards back into what appears to be more scrubland again before you expect to reach just the bone wastes themselves, which is mostly just a space where nothing lives. Where scrubland would give away to just bare earth and rotten ground. But here at least you see a few patches of grass and scrub bush, gnarled trees and such. Passing through this, you do not see any sign through the imp of large parties or anything moving through. Nothing catches its interest or that it communicates back as a danger. However, you guys do struggle to find your way through this space, through this rough-hewn country, and find yourselves having to negotiate challenging ravines and like you have to sometimes double back after you've come to a cliff edge, and then you have to come back and find another way down to pass through it. On one such occasion, you guys are passing through a ravine that's kind of growing more and more claustrophobic on the sides, coming down to about 20 to 30 feet in width, with a relatively sharp kind of stepped cliff face heading up on either side. You begin to hear a rumble. I'm going to give you guys a perception check.
22.
Hot boy with advantage for imp. Or the imp can do it separately, actually.
Shoot. Oh, well, okay. So 17 for hot boy.
The imp will have advantage on its perception check. Perception.
Okay, so.
And what'd you get?
Oh, I got 0.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
22.
22.
Uno. Natural
13.
one. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. So
13 for the imp and
3.
17 for hot boy.
3.
21.
22.
22. You notice first, even through the distance between you and the ground, and like this creature that you're riding on, your senses are not as well attuned as you would wish they were when you have your own pads on the ground. But you notice a few rocks kind of shaking and then falling off the sides of the ravine as you guys are passing through. You quickly hop off your beast and you press your hands and face and whiskers down to the ground.
Tail
There is
wagging.
Heavy vibration. Yeah, nature check.
Now there is.
10, 11.
You would say earthquake, stampede, volcano?
I yell. Earthquake? Stampede? Volcano?
So
You know, it's something capable of the earth here, and it's either very close or something very big and very far away.
I pull my bow and say, everyone get ready for...
You hop back onto your beast.
No, if there's any cliff face kind of close by, maybe I'll try and jump off onto that someplace to land. Have
Okay,
land.
give me a quick athletics check. The lighting? The lighting?
Yeah.
It's still maybe early afternoon at this point.
Early afternoon. So in the cliff face, or any shadows, anything like that?
There's some pretty sharp cast shadows in a few of these corners. There's these like it's really rough cut, broken rock. So there are places that are shadowed underneath where the sun would be, with these like kind of like deep cuts. You could attempt to hide there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna, because I have a trait that allows me to use my action to turn invisible in dim or darkness.
Yeah, you can find some dim light, some shadows that are dark enough.
Jump down and run over and.
Like climbing up or down on the ground level.
I would prefer to be. Well, actually, I'd prefer to be higher. But
Okay, athletics check and then a stealth check. Athletics check.
20.
Okay, what are you guys doing? You guys now, after Chairman Meow has mentioned this, you can give me nature checks, please.
Arrow at the ready if anything's coming down that path.
14.
Joel? Nature check?
Oh, sorry. 16.
Plus, minus?
16.
Okay.
10 plus 16. 10 plus 6, sorry.
Getting closer. Now that the Chairman Meow has mentioned it, you guys are noticing more and more of this vibration, and you have determined this is a stampede, and it is fucking close. Coming your way. You can hear it now, this rumble and this smashing of earth and rumble of some creatures' hoofs on ground coming in your direction. You see, what are you two doing?
I mean, I'm just like preparing, I guess.
Okay, still mounted, just like hanging out in the middle of the ravine?
Well, no, yeah, I'll try to take some, cover if there's some sort of like place to hunker down. Probably hop off my verteg and, stand more next to it rather than be on top of it.
Okay. Hertz takes his and like starts gathering up those vertegs that you guys have hopped off and gathers them up and tries to like push them into a corner where they're kind of out of the way as much as possible. And he stays on his and just kind of like mounts there and against this corner
I'm
of the
still
ravine.
on mine.
Yours he doesn't take them.
And I'm gonna take it over near there, and I'm gonna kind of cast levitate on it, and we're gonna.
Is there a weight limit on levitate?
500 pounds.
It is. You and the beast are over 500 pounds.
I'm gonna cast levitate on myself.
You can levitate.
Okay.
Your beast brings the others. What was your athletics check?
20.
More than enough to clamber your way up the rocks. Did you want to hide as well?
I'm gonna keep going up. I have 20 climb speed.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
I
you're able to
climb
like
speed,
make your way up
Yeah,
a couple tiers up of this.
I'll try and hide somewhere as well.
Okay. And your athletics check, I'm sorry? To climb up the rocks? You struggle your way up there. You're maybe like 6 feet off the ground, not much, but you're able to. By the time these creatures come whirling around the bend, Onkegs, not Vertegs, the cousin, the far less friendly cousin of the Velteg. These creatures
I'm invisible.
come just rushing through the space. They are absolutely panicked and just frothing, it seems. These creatures are like these more insectoid than your beasts of burden that are carrying you, and much more like lithe and ready to like cut people apart. Joel has a picture of one right there.
Yeah. That's cute.
Quickly looking up all the stats so we can metagame.
I'm not trying to metagame. I just want to see what they look like and look.
The lore is often not reliable.
Ah, well, fine.
And their stats are also not entirely reliable.
I'm
And
not
often
looking at their
appearances
stats,
are.
okay? Well then.
So look at those things with, take it with a grain of rice. Or whatever the phrase is.
Salt?
Yeah.
Rice.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I like rice better.
So these creatures come rushing through this space and just maddened and frightened.
Do I see what's maddening them?
Not yet.
Does conquering presence work on beasts or is it just like?
I
don't think it's in here because it was a
says.
separate. It was like a
Oh
separate
yeah, you get the
subset
vengeance
thing.
one. What does it say?
It seemed to be fun to step out and just cast it and try to have them all turn around.
Oh yeah.
I'll just like pile in, turn around.
Frightened.
Is it
Yeah,
a spell?
You can certainly try it.
Yeah, I want to try it.
You have to roll against every single one that comes.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Is that what I would have to
No,
do?
I don't know.
I would manage it without doing that because
Yeah.
I don't want to roll
100 times.
Well, I still want to be like in somewhat covered, but like it's 30 feet, and I imagine we're in like somewhat.
Okay, yeah, you find your way. You in the kind of middle of this ravine. There's one column of rock that's it's been slowly weathered away by time. You clamber on top of it, so you know maybe like a third of the way into this central area, which are like 8 feet up.
Be frightened.
As the beasts come around like this horrifying plague of locusts, this swarm of onkegs like clambering over each other and a little bit on the walls as well. You do what? You just say, "Be frightened."
be frightened.
Behold me and be afraid.
Be
How
frightened
big I
of
am.
these beasts.
Your aura of fear does
I
its
take
thing.
the mini-handed pouch off of it so that it can just be seen. They can be even more frightened. Be frightened.
What's the DC there to make?
13.
13.
So low.
Free lunch.
Well, a significant percentage of them just got a natural 20,
Oh.
Can you just redo it?
and a significant percent got a 15. So whatever is terrifying
How
these
embarrassing.
creatures
Other than my dick
is more frightening than your gargantuan penis waving in the wind.
You gotta put the bag back on.
Humiliated, you put the dick pouch back on your dick. Quickly being batted by Sherman, yeah. D&D's gotten real fucking weird this campaign, so...
Just the usual.
Pay no attention.
A lady chaperone.
I just tried to scare a stampede away with my dick.
Yeah, I heard.
It didn't work. So
I also
Dick and
heard
work.
that.
They come just like rushing through past you and around you. Everybody who I believe, who is lower than like 20 feet, which is the rest of you, give
Lower
me
than?
a dexterity check,
I'm
please.
20 feet
You're
in
20
the
feet
air.
up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All right, you're
levitated.
safe. I didn't know how high that was.
Oh, sorry.
Levitated. 20 feet up.
12.
All right, failure.
Boo. Boo.
Oh. 18.
God damn you, random chance.
Gotta start using my big die.
Yeah.
18?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you take 12 points of acid damage, and you
Oh.
take 24 points of acid
That's
damage.
it?
As various of these Ankeg just start spraying acid around, and their fright, seeing your penis has agitated them even further.
That's not acid.
Those of you who are on the lower levels, within the bottom 10 feet, which I believe is you and you,
Am I not on
which
that rock
are the
still?
same for both. So I guess everybody who's below same who are below 10. So you guys also are going to take some slashing attacks as they
What's
just
that
drive
about a rock?
past you.
Or you like get
You're
back?
like 8 feet up. These things are large enough, and they're scrambling over each other as they're traveling through this space. That some of them are going to take like swiping attacks at you as they run past.
Can I put my shield up?
How's your health?
And I'm going to town on the wing too. Just
Just batting it like crazy.
Say we're 70%.
We've got a good portion with a 15 to hit. That hit either of you?
Miss.
Not even
And
close,
a
Mark.
smaller portion with a 24 to hit.
That's barely gonna get me. Yeah.
Oof. Oof.
You rolling for both of us each time?
Yes. And you both got attacked by the second one, not the first one.
Right.
You take 21 points of slashing damage
Shit.
as this like horrible, like, mass of exoskeleton and flesh
Wait.
rushes past,
Ah,
slashing and spitting as they go.
too late. I could have cast Reduce on them.
And I'll probably need to have Hertz give us a animal handling check, which he passes. He's able to from panicking and scattering in the avalanche of creatures that run past you. There's a moment, just a moment, of quiet before, after these creatures pass and run off into the distance, before you begin to hear another rumbling. Give me another perception check.
Everybody?
How
you
high
guys-
up is the top of the chasm?
I'd say about 35 feet. It's kind of like this broken like chasm. Beyond that, you don't think it's not like a level ground that's going to go on for a significant space. This chasm is kind of like the best way to get through, and it's not that great. Beyond the chasm on either side is more broken up badlands that are going to be tough to travel through no matter where you go.
Well, I'm gonna drink the potion.
Yeah, me too.
Gulp.
What's that? 2d4 plus 2?
4 plus 2. Drew, yours was 44 plus 4.
15 total.
I'm gonna cast. Who's more hurt?
I'm way below.
I have 31 total.
21 out of 46. After.
Damn.
Got me down to 13.
Oh, I can't touch you. You're too far away.
Perception checks.
Oh, 5.
22.
Uh, 13.
You said spell checks?
Perception.
Oh, that was a 0 again.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Burn those dice.
I don't know. They're just
What'd you get?
failing me today.
13. So 22 for you?
22.
22. As the Ompegs rush past you, their rumbling kind of begins to fade in the distance, and you begin listening, turning your ear for whatever it is that panicked them in the first place. And you hear more rumbling of rock. This echoing and shaking more deeply from the rock itself, as if it's something burrowing, quickly, rushing through the ground itself. And you begin to see coming around the corner and coming, like you can see in the rock walls itself, rock just crumbling on the edges of the ravine and just shattering, breaking it down, falling into the ravine below. You see these bulges of the ground rushing through the earth just below the surface. You see one break forth and above, and out comes. Give me a nature check, all of you, as you see
What
this
is
creature.
that?
17.
22.
8.
4.
The two of you recognize this as one of the plagues of the northern portion of the Untamed Lands and the Bone Wastes, a boulet, colloquially known as a land shark.
Oh,
These
shit.
creatures burrow beneath the earth at rapid pace, seeking their prey that dwell on the surface, bursting forth to devour them and dragging them back down beneath. They're also pretty potent enemies on the ground itself. And you find yourselves in this position of it being in this ravine, having just survived the passage of this Onkeg swarm, fleeing from some bullets. And that is where we'll end for the night.
Oh my god.
How big are these things?
They are pretty big.